Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tip Tuesday video. Today we are just going to talk briefly about visibility and display rules as a means of cleaning up and decluttering some of the lists and some of the options to make things more clear for different users in the system. So many of you have seen this before, but you can separate the data in the system based on company. And with that separation, you can also adjust who can see not just only equipment, but the format in which they can see it. So you can adjust the layouts for both home and the equipment screen, as well as work orders. You can also adjust what search bys and what reports are available. And then finally, you can also adjust what events are displayed. So you have the ability to make events visible to those from different companies, from those from different user profiles. So you have several different options. We're going to run through a couple of those quickly. First, we're going to start with reports because those are going to be the easiest. Got your main list of reports here. And where you can set your visibility rules is going to be in the print builder. So you would go to your admin panel and select print builder, which I already have launched here. And you can navigate to any of the different types of reports here. And you'll see in this bottom section here, the visibility and usage section. And so after you've created to actually make this visible for people to view in that drop down, you would need to add a visibility rule. So I've got two different ones here for company A and for the ABC company. And when I click on ABC company, you'll see the visibility rule listed down here. And I can click on that to open it up. And you can always set these to system-wide, but if you do want to separate those out for individual users, you would uncheck system-wide. You can create a specific menu group here if you wanted to have a sub-menu and then identify the order of the report within that menu. So we don't have it set system-wide, and we do have a filter applied for the ABC company, which means only when you're within the ABC company would you be able to see it. And that means what is currently being displayed on your equipment screen. So ABC company is what we have here. And when I come over to search and report, we see we've got miscellaneous ABC company report. But if I switch users, and I'm going to log out and log back in quickly. All right, now this user, let me just check my profile manager here because I may have logged into the incorrect one here. Sample user 2 does have access to the ABC company, so we still see the report listed here. If we switch this over to our first sample user, now this user only has access to company A. So you see this warning message here that they can't see any of the equipment in the ABC company. So that's going to switch it over to company A where they do have access. And if I come over here, you'll see that report is no longer listed. So we've made that report only accessible to those by company. Now, when you're looking at the filters that are available here, you have not only company, profiles, and users as well. So you can set this for specific profile types to make this only visible to a system admin or a power user. And then you could also get specific and say this is only visible for my sample user and no one else can see this. This is also a great feature for those of you admins out there when you're developing a new report and you want to be able to test it, but you don't want people to accidentally click on it. So you can make this visible only to yourself while you're in the testing phase. Those are our visibility rules for reports. This concept is applied throughout the system. All right, and now we're going to take a look at layouts. So I've got this basic layout here, but it does have this global equipment change event on it. And that is an admin level event. I do not want every user to be able to go in and make sweeping changes to equipment through this one event. So I can have a separate event or a separate layout listed for just the technician. And when it's switched over there, I've removed that particular event. So you'll see my options here are limited to just choosing between the different layouts. And that's because I'm a standard user right now. I'm logged in as the sample user. But if we switch that back out, and we'll go back to our admin user, and now when we're logged in as the admin user, you'll see the rest of the options that are visible here. And when you're creating in the new fields layouts, the new designs for version 13, you're actually editing these layouts directly in place, not through the layout builder as you would have in the past. So instead, you're going to set these display rules right here. So you would choose here, you'll see a similar visibility panel pop up here, and you can open up your visibility rule, see that it's not system-wide, and I have this applied to both a standard user and system administrator. So both users can see it, and that's why it was visible when I was logged in as this sample user that is set as a standard user. Now that we've seen that you can switch back and forth and have different profile rules for your reports and also for your layouts to have different things visible based on different criteria, there's one last area that I wanted to demonstrate, and that's within your workflow configuration. So you can also adjust what is available in your events drop-down list. Now, if you have an event that is restricted by a security profile or even by a visibility rule, but it is listed on the flowchart, it will not remove that from the flowchart. The flowchart is set, but if the user attempts to click on that, the event will not function, and they will receive an error warning that says access denied. But we also want to make sure that we can remove that from our list here. And what we do is open up our workflow configuration. And so I have a couple of events here. I've got the company A miscellaneous and the standard miscellaneous event. And so the company A, I have set here on step 4 under barcode and display rules. You can set your criteria, and you can do this from company criteria to usernames, workstations, locations. So you've got multiple options here, profile types, employee groups. So you can restrict on a bunch of different levels. Standard filter box that you see throughout the system. And you can choose whether this rule is going to include the event or exclude the event. And so right now I have this company A miscellaneous event that is only included when company A is selected. So when I come over here, I'm currently an ABC company. But if I switch that, I'm going to switch my company here, and we'll go over to company A. Now that I'm in company A, you'll see I have access to the company A miscellaneous event. And so with those restrictions, so if you wanted to have events that were specific to sites, to companies as they're designated within the system, then you can have them restricted and as I said, included or excluded based on a number of different features. And so what we've demonstrated is that you can have that based on included based on a company. So I hope this helps clean up some of your lists, help this make some security adjustments for those that should or should not have access to different options within your system. And hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday.